Welcome back. It's now the next day and I find myself back in Copenhagen's wonderful station. Let's go and have a look around. In today's video we will be travelling from here in Copenhagen all the way across the Øresund Strait using the Øresund Bridge and across into Malmo, a journey I've been looking forward to. Copenhagen Station is the main station in Copenhagen and the largest in Denmark. It handles over 100,000 travellers a day and is the second busiest in Denmark after Nordport. It also has the world famous Tivoli Gardens right outside the door. The station is the central hub of the DSB railway network covering Denmark and an international station with services to Sweden and Germany, as well as long distance and local trains, and, importantly for us, it hosts the Øresund trains to Malmo. The original station was built in 1847, but the station we see here was built in 1911 and is the work of the architect Heinrich Wenck. Excuse my pronunciation. The station concourse here is home to many fine small shops and cafes. The trains used on the Malmo line are manufactured by Bombardier and named by them the Contessas. They are designated Class ET in Denmark and X31K in Sweden. They are designed to run on either the Danish supply of 25 kilovolts at 50 Hz AC and also the Swedish of 15 kV at 16 and 2/3 Hz AC, enabling seamless operation between the two countries over the bridge. So we've made it onto the train now, and the rain continues. I've picked the wrong day to come here this time, haven't I? As we pull out of a wet and dreary Copenhagen under a slate grey sky, I'm beginning to realise that today has the potential to be a washout. I do so hope not. Okay, so we've just left the airport and next we'll be going across the bridge. So let's do that. Before the bridge, we go through the approach tunnel because half of the strait is covered by a tunnel and the other half by a bridge. So we'll come out of this tunnel in a minute into daylight before crossing the Øresund Bridge. And now we are approaching the Øresund Strait and its amazing bridge. The strait forms the border between Denmark and Sweden and is 73 miles long and varies in width from 17 miles at its widest down to 2.5 miles here at the bridge. The name Øresund comes from two words, Ør meaning gravel or sandy beach and Sund meaning strait. The name has been found on a runestone dating back 1,000 years where it is written in the Old East Norse as Urashuti. Again, please excuse my pronunciation, I don't speak Old East Norse. The bridge itself is a combined railway and road bridge that forms part of the E20 international road route. Construction started in 1995 and it opened just 5 years later on the 1st of July 2000 and forms an essential part of the international rail link joining Sweden and Norway to mainland Europe. There is also a data cable here forming the backbone of internet access between Europe and Sweden. The design of the bridge, which is half tunnel and half bridge, is to avoid interfering with air traffic from the local Copenhagen Bridge, which is situated on the west end, and a clear channel for ships in any weather. The bridge itself is 4.88 miles long and has a central span allowing 187 feet of clearance for shipping, although most captains prefer to travel on the easternmost channel where there is no bridge. The main span of the bridge forms the largest cable-stayed bridge in the world. The reason for the cable-stayed bridge was to avoid instability that could be caused by a heavy goods train braking suddenly while on the bridge. I believe that on the next train station there may be passport control or may not, I'm not sure. Sweden introduced enhanced border controls in 2015. This was due to the increasing numbers of illegal immigrants, and with the airport being just on the other side of the bridge, This was a point where they wanted to keep an eye. The timetabling of these trains has been altered to a male time for this to take place. I believe it adds about 6 minutes to the journey time.
Yeah, so just announce that we need to have identity and passport ready for the next station. Let's see what happens.
Well, they've actually got on this time, so let's see what happens, shall we? So, at last we are moving again. The police are happy. There's no unwanted criminals on board, and we're moving. And here we are. We've arrived. Let's get off.
Here we are. We have arrived in Malmo station. Let's see if we can get out.
Malmo station first opened in 1856, coinciding with the opening of the Malmo-Lund railway. The building was nearly destroyed 10 years later in a fire, and when they rebuilt it, the reconstruction kept the bell tower. In 2000, both local and long-distance trains began running directly to Denmark, giving the whole station a new lease of life.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you find me outside a soaking wet Malmo station, and it is hammering it down. It really is. I have picked a bad day to come today. I've got two choices. I can either wait here in the hope the rain will stop before I need to leave, or I can brave the rain and get soaking wet. Guess what I'm going to do? I think next I'm going to head into that church. Hopefully we can get in.
St. Peter's Church. This amazing brick-built Gothic church was built in the 14th century as the main church of Malmo. The church was a spiritual centre during the Reformation and was only one of a few churches in what was then medieval Denmark to suffer damage due to iconoclasm. The church has been altered several times since its construction. The original tower collapsed in 1420, and this replacement itself suffered a partial collapse in 1442 and had to be rebuilt again. The current tower we see today is the result of an 1890 rebuild. An extensive restructuring of the church took place between 1847 and 1853 under the guidance of Carl George Brunius. At the time, the church was in very poor state of repair. However, this reconstruction has been criticised as being too harsh. For example, the floor of the entire church was covered with old gravestones. These were all taken up and most were smashed. The whitewashed interior was renewed and many of the church's Renaissance furnishings were removed. The altarpiece and the organ facade were saved against Brunius' wishes, although the altarpiece was painted grey. Between 1904 and 1906, Theodore Wolin tried to restore the damage done 50 years earlier. The altarpiece was repainted in vibrant colours and the Merchant's Chapel was uncovered and restored. The Merchant's Chapel here is richly decorated with late medieval murals. Some of these may date to the 1460s, while others have been dated to 1510. This altarpiece is the largest wooden altarpiece in Europe. It is made of oak and reaches up to 15 metres tall and was made in 1611 by several local carpenters. It contains 4 levels or stories, one above the other. The pulpit was inaugurated in 1591 and was made by David Thomason. It is made of black limestone with light sandstone and has gilt in several places. The baptismal font here, also made by Daniel Thomason, and dates from 1601 and, like the pulpit, is made from black limestone. The font is octagonal with 6 of its sides showing scenes from the Bible, while the other 2 sides have a monogram of the donator and an inscription commemorating the donation of the font to the church. The original organ dates to the 16th century and had 11 stops. This was later extended to 21 stops, and the facade dates to 1797. This modern organ was built by the German company Claes. This updated and technically advanced 6-manual system plays both the 1797 organ and the new pipes at the same time. This system means there is an unlimited selection of voices and sounds and overtones available to the organist.
Well, that is an absolutely amazing church. I hope you enjoyed our little look around that. We've come back out and it is still raining. Oh dear, I've picked the worst day possible to come here, haven't I? Well guys, I am soaked through to the skin. I am freezing cold. I can't see any purpose in carrying on with this today. I am gutted. I am really disappointed. I've been looking forward to coming here for so long, and then what do? I pick a bloody freezing cold rainy day to come. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to find somewhere to get a coffee, because I've not had one yet. So I'm going to cut my losses and head back over the water to Copenhagen. This is horrible, really, really horrible. Never mind. You win some, you lose some, don't you?
Well, a huge thank you for watching this film. I hope you'll come back and join me for the next edition, which is where we go and have a look at the Tivoli Gardens. But from now, from a disappointed voiceover Gabriel on his way back to Copenhagen, I'll see you on the next one. Bye.